Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have witnessed the arrival of the chief guest of this occasion, Major General Milinda Peiris, RWP, RSP, VSP, USP, NDC, PSC, the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University. Ladies and gentlemen, what defines mankind? Since the beginning of time, mankind created many definitions for themselves. Different ethnicities, races, cultures, and religions identified us different to one another. Borders separated and limited us to our own countries and ethnicities. War and conflict raged through as mankind forgot the most imperative quality within us all, humanity. Through these tough times, we stood together, and today's proceedings bear witness to this great victory. We have come together to bridge the gaps that keep us apart and to work towards integrating cultures towards an Asian ideology. Through these next few months, we will be engaging in various social and research activities using virtual platforms, exploring the beauty in cultural diversity through the safe guidance of General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University amidst the prevailing conditions around the world due to the COVID-19 pandemic. General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, as you all know, is an establishment entailing the life-defining individualities of discipline, honesty, courage, virtue, and as prominently, knowledge and professional persona. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the KDU anthem. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor do the years condemn. And they whom shall pass for their country fills the honored grave. For glory lies the soldier's tomb, and beauty weeps the brave. Let us stand in silence for 2 minutes and commemorate the ultimate sacrifice of our fallen war heroes. Thank you. Please be seated. Every special occasion in our culture is graced by the auspicious tradition of lighting the oil lamp. Therefore, let us stand in pride as we demarcate the inauguration of this glorious event. For the lighting of the traditional oil lamp, let me humbly invite the chief guest, Major General Milinda Pires, the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kadalavala Defence University. Brigadier Nandahadra Singha, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defence and Administration. Mr. Kitsiri Amratunga, Dean, Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities. Mr. Nuan Hera, Head of the Department of Social Sciences. Dr. Hemanta Premaratna, Senior Lecturer, Department of Social Sciences. Thank you, sir. Dance is the art of expressing emotions through the movement to a rhythm. The rhythm represents its own culture and identity. Being part of the cultural heritage that is our nation, the traditional puja dance is a significant element in any event. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the stunning dancing troupe of KDU officer cadets and day scholars. Ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause for that mesmerizing performance by the dancing troupe of KDU officer cadets and day scholars. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now humbly invite Mr. Kitsiri Amratunga, Dean, Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, to welcome the gathering.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure and a privilege to welcome the distinguished audience joining this very important inaugural function of introducing a short course on cultural linkages towards an Asian ideology. This is a course that is hosted by the Department of Social Sciences of KDU and is conducted on a grant awarded by the Eurasia Foundation from Asia, based in Japan. So let me very warmly welcome our chief guest, who is none other than our own Vice Chancellor, Major General Milinda Piris, who does not need any introduction to any one of us in this audience. But for the knowledge of those joining us online, especially from Japan, I should say that General Piris is a transformational leader who was largely instrumental in converting the Kuthalawala Defense Academy to a fully fledged university in Sri Lanka, which is a unique educational model in Asia as well as in the world, which is a university where military officer cadets, civilian day scholars, and even foreign students learn together in a harmonious blend. Sir, we are truly encouraged by your gracious presence on this occasion. I would also like to welcome our guest speaker, eminent Professor Hajime Tozaki of Oberlin University, Japan, who has been very kindly helping Dr. Hemanta Premaratne of the Department of Social Sciences for obtaining the award or the grant for KDU. Professor Hajime was very eager to visit Sri Lanka for this event, but unfortunately the pandemic scenario has prevented him from doing so. Dear Professor, we are deeply honored by your consent to deliver the keynote address online today. Let me also welcome our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defense and Administration, Brigadier Nandahakar Singha, our first resource person, Professor Anuma Abiratne from the University of Peradeniya, Deans of Faculties, Directors, Heads of Departments, Senior Professors and Academics, Registrar, Mr. Kitsiri Itanage, and all administrative officers, Commanding Officer, Adjutant, and all other officers present, and especially the students registered for this course, representing different faculties. Those of you who are physically present here, and the majority joining online due to the restrictions and the COVID-19 pandemic situation. Ladies and gentlemen, I consider it my duty to provide some background information on the course that we are inaugurating today, and also on the Eurasia Foundation, which is our funding organization. This course on cultural linkages towards an Asian ideology became a reality because of the keen interest of Dr. Hemanta Premaratne, Senior Lecturer in the Department of Social Sciences and the former head of the department. And with his doctoral education in Japan, he has a great admiration and respect for social and cultural values that he has observed in Japanese people. So he always looks for opportunities to link Sri Lanka and Japan for mutual benefit. Having learned about the Eurasia Foundation and its vision and philosophy, and with the kind assistance of Professor Hajime, Dr. Prem Ratna was able to get his proposal for this course through for the grant. And he also consulted the academics in his department, in the faculty, and even outside. He also went to the extent of consulting the Vice Chancellor in designing the course framework and for planning its implementation, going into meticulous detail. Incidentally, this is the second time that a Sri Lankan university was awarded a grant by the Eurasia Foundation. The first being the University of Caledonia in 2013. If I speak a few words about the Eurasia Foundation from Asia, I would say it is an evolution from the One Asia Foundation that was founded in 2009 by the Japanese philanthropist, Mr. Yoji Sato, and he's the chairman of the organization, or the foundation as well. And this is a non-profit organization with the objective of establishing an Asian community with a common identity, despite various differences among them. It is an organization that propagates peace and harmony through the identification of historical and socio-cultural affinities and relationships, and also the differences among Asians. As I understand, the idea is to enable Asians to know Asia from an Asian perspective, to resurrect ourselves from being Asians, described and portrayed by the West, as explained in the Oriental and Occidental dichotomy, to put us on an equal footing so that our youths would in the future portray Asia in its true self. After 2 decades of activities of the One Asia Foundation in most of the Asian countries, especially through funded courses in Asian universities, the organization has changed its outlook with the new name Eurasia Foundation from Asia, expanding its horizon to the Europe and the Middle East as well. The main objective of the Eurasia Foundation is to contribute to the elimination of all conflicts in the world and the creation of a harmonious and peaceful society for everyone on earth. The foundation is a non-profit, non-governmental, and apolitical organization working towards the well-being of the humanity at large. And it attempts to achieve its objectives through education. It exposes university students engaged in highly disciplined, specific, compartmentalized learning to culture, religion, world history, politics, economics, technology, and art. And it shows them the importance of diverse values for tolerance of others and for harmonious living. In a way, it seems to bring back the holistic approach to education, which had been very much a part of education systems that traditionally prevailed in our parts of the world. The idea is to orientate the youths towards building a conflict-free world in the future. I'm sure this Sri Lankan experience will definitely add a rich texture to the activities of the Eurasia Foundation, because we are a culturally rich nation which has much to unravel and present to the Asian and world communities. I'm not going to extend my speech any further. You are waiting for the important addresses by our Vice Chancellor, the Chief Guest, and also from Professor Hajime from Japan. So let me conclude my speech, once again very warmly welcoming all of you to this important occasion. On behalf of the Department of Social Sciences and the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities of General Sri John Puthalavel Defence University, Sri Lanka, I thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let us bring to you a graphical illustration of the importance of integrating cultures towards an Asian ideology and what it means to our students.
Explore complex societies and cultures.
Regional cooperation and economic development.
To world-beating growth and health.
The law, politics, security, and defense.
Uncover the role of globalization, technology, and languages.
Gender, ethics, truth-seeking, and many more.
Discover the Asian ideology.
A short course on cultural linkages towards an Asian ideology.
To give students a firm grounding of issues and themes relevant to Asia, enabling them to think across disciplinary boundaries to tackle issues of global and regional relevance.
Organized by the Department of Social Sciences of the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities of General Sir John Kuthalawala Defence University.
Funded by research grant from the Eurasia Foundation from Asia in Japan.
Eurasia Foundation from Asia, a non-profit organization which supports activities that stimulate common sense values among Asian people through economic, educational, and cultural exchanges.
The aim of such activities is to create a rich, peaceful, and secure Asian community where people can live together, each holding their own dreams and hopes, which will result in global peace and security.
The foundation has offered research grants to many universities in about 40 countries across the world. And this year, General Sir John Kuthalawala Defence University has been able to secure a grant to conduct this valuable course.
General Sir John Kuthalawala Defence University, which has always been a center for integration, from being the first military academy in the country to train all military forces together, and being the first to bring military and civil society education together, is proud to be a force in integrating cultures towards an Asian ideology.
So we asked our students what an Asian ideology means to them, and this is what they had to say.
Senduas idénticas.
இது பல்வகைமை ஒற்றுமை.
And what, in your opinion, is the simplest way towards one ideology and cultural harmony?
It would be to smile often.
For the motherland forever. This is never just a motto. To someone who steps into General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University as a lifelong part of it, it was but a vision. And the true visionary behind the success story of KDU today is none other than the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, under whom has been undoubtedly one of the most successful guidance in the history of KDU. As a result of which, the undergraduates of our alma mater have gone above and beyond to create history and fame, and to truly live and serve the words for the motherland forever. Ladies and gentlemen, we now humbly invite the chief guest of today's occasion, Major General Milinda Pires, RWP, RSP, VSV, USP, NDC, PSC, the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, to address the gathering.
Professor Tosaki Hajime of Oberlin University, Japan, joining with us online. Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defense and Administration, Professor Dhatur Singha. The first resource person, Professor Anoma Abhiratna. Deans of faculties, directors, senior professors, academics, administrative staff, senior officers, students, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, I am indeed glad that our Department of Social Sciences has got this opportunity to conduct a short course on cultural linkages towards an Asian community on a grant offered by Inauguration Foundation in Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, I am glad about this program on several accounts. First, it is the noble aim of Inauguration Foundation to contribute to the elimination of all conflicts in the world and the creation of a harmonious and peaceful society for everyone on earth. One might think how a defense university would fit in with a theme like this, because we are there to fight wars. But when you think deeply, you will realize that the persons personally in defense services are the ones who would embrace the idea of a peaceful, harmonious world the most, because it is they who directly face the adversaries of the opposite scenarios such as wars, conflicts, insurrections, and disharmonies in the world. It is they who mostly sacrifice their lives in defending their territories and nations. If people across the world avoid conflicts and resolve issues peacefully, then the involvement of armed forces will be minimal. Secondly, we in Sri Lanka have a great respect towards Japan, our brother Asian nation, and the very fact that the leadership of the Inauguration Foundation is held by this great resilient nation makes us glad to join hands with its noble efforts. Japan, as we all know, is a nation that has risen from the ashes after the Second World War. Hiroshima and Nagasaki still remind us of the painful blow the Japanese nation suffered at war. So the leadership taken by Japan in propagating the value of global peace and harmony is truly legitimate. And this reminds me of our mutual friendship that goes back to Japanese Peace Conference in 1951 at San Francisco, where Mr. J.R. Jayawardena, who later became the first executive president of Sri Lanka, speaking in support of Japan, made the historic comment that hatred ceases not by hatred, is by love, which was a message from the philosophy of the Lord Buddha and a message that contains a core value of Asian identity. Thirdly, two countries, Japan and Sri Lanka, also have an affinity because Sri Lanka too heavily suffered for 30 long years due to internal conflicts. We too have made a lot of sacrifices, and as a result, we have realized in no uncertain terms the value and the importance of peace and harmony for our people in Sri Lanka. We do realize the need to create a more peaceful world for our future generations. And that is why Kothala Defence University adopts new strategies through education to build relationships and linkages to minimize and underplay the differences among multi-ethnic and multi-religious communities in the country and to eliminate grounds of mutual suspicion that gives rise to hatred and conflict. So in our university, the first step in this direction was taken immediately after the end of war to offer education opportunities for civilian students to study together with officer cadets. The idea was to build up the civil-military relations, and today the model has proven to be a great success. Then we started opening our study programs to foreign students, and I'm glad to say that a fairly large number of students, almost approximately 300 foreign students, especially from Asian nations, receive education together at our university, providing a beautiful cultural mix. Our students are groomed to be ambassadors of peace and harmonious living. Therefore, we are glad that we are contributing in our own way to develop intercultural understanding to propagate mutual respect and tolerance for others, views, beliefs, religions, and so on. So this certificate course on cultural linkages towards an Asian ideology will be thematically relevant to our students at KDU, and I believe that it will provide an opportunity for the participants to develop a broad understanding on our cultural linkages, bonds and commonalities that would bring us closer despite geographical distances and other differences. I also think that this course will be an initiation for unveiling further opportunities for programs to strengthen relationships, networks, and bonds among Asian communities, and especially between Japan and Sri Lanka. And as the Vice Chancellor of the General Surgeon Kothala Defence University, I vouch my continued and fullest support in every venture of this sort in the future too. Before concluding, I should express my sincere appreciation to the Chairman of Eurasia Foundation, Mr. George Sato, and his team for selecting KDU in Sri Lanka for a grant in 2020. I also appreciate Professor Hajime Tosaki of Oberlin University, which we had a discussion a few weeks ago, who has helped KDU to obtain the grant for this course, and I took forward to welcoming him for the closing ceremony of this program at KDU in February next year. I also appreciate the initiation of Dr. Hemantha Premaratna, who has been making tireless efforts right from the beginning to avail this grant to Kotalala Defence University to conduct this important course, which really promotes cultural linkages. Finally, while congratulating you, the students who have been selected to follow this course, I request you to make maximum benefit from the given opportunity. This will be an additional knowledge that you would acquire during this course. I am sure this will expand your world view irrespective of your respective disciplines of study. In this course, there are law students, engineering students, management, and all fields of students. So that itself is a good learning atmosphere and an environment. And I welcome these selected resource persons and request them to enrich the course with research required to deliver the best. I also appreciate the contribution made by the Dean of the Faculty, the former Dean and the current Dean, Mr. Amartunga, the Head of Department of Social Sciences, and all others who contributed to organize this event despite current difficulties in the country. Unfortunately, if not for these limitations, we would have had a full audience, but we were instructed to limit to 50. So therefore, others would join online. So wish you all the very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, with those words of inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now have the honor of introducing our guest speaker, Professor Hajime Tosaki. Professor Hajime Tosaki obtained bachelor's degree in economics and 2 master degrees from University of Kyoto, Japan, and he completed his PhD also at University of Kyoto. In his illustrious career, he had taught at 4 universities, such as Tokyo University, Meiji University, Waseda University, and Tokyo Metropolitan University in Japan. Presently, he is working at J.F. Oberlin University, Japan, as a professor in economics. Professor Tosaki has published many books, book chapters, and journal articles relevant to economics and finance. Moreover, his research findings have been applied in various contexts in many countries. Further, he made significant national and international contributions. Researcher for the Committee on Transport Policy of the House of Council in Japan, advisor to the Tourism Agency in Japan for the Human Resource Development, Counselor for Laos, advisor to develop tourism sector in Sri Lanka, advisor for Japanese Council of Transport Workers Unions, advisor for Transport Workers Federation, Counselor of Japan Forum for Research on Public Policy. are a few of them. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Hajime Tosaki.
Hello everyone. Thank you for inviting me to the opening ceremony of the donation goals sponsored by the European Eurasia Foundation today. We're very pleased to be able to hold this course at a wonderful university like KDU. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to all those who have made various efforts in opening this course. Without their deep understanding and cooperation, we would not have had such a wonderful opportunity. In particular, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to Professor Hemanta for his great consideration for every aspect. Despite being busy to date, Professor Hemanta has put a lot of effort into getting this course open. Over the past few years, Professor Hemanta and I have been involved in tourism policies in Japan and Sri Lanka. From the perspective of Japan, Sri Lanka is a fascinating country with a wonderful history, tradition, and natural beauty. However, this is still unknown to many people in Japan. On the other hand, there may be still many things that you don't know about Japan well. By deepening the relationship between the two countries, great economic effects and cultural prosperity can be expected. To that end, multifaceted efforts are required. Holding this course can be positioned as one of them. In this course, we will get wonderful lecturers to give lectures on the theme of building an Asian community. I'm also very interested in the content and look forward to it. Also, I will give a lecture once in the latter half of the course. At the time, I'd like to talk to you directly in Sri Lanka. At that time, we would like to take the opportunity to deep mutual exchange between Sri Lanka and Japan. At JF Auburn University, where I work, we are already working toward mutual exchange with the university. All of us as a university are looking forward to seeing you and working with you. Unfortunately, due to the influence of the new coronavirus, COVID-19, I can't visit there at present. But I hope that I will be able to be there as soon as possible and talk with you toward the establishment of a joint research system and an exchange program in the future. We hope that this course will be a good starting point for the future project. Let's deepen our understanding together and contribute to the realization of happiness in Asia as a whole. I would like to extend my greetings in the hope that we will continue to associate with you for a long time. Thank you for listening. I'm looking forward to working with you from now on. Please.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now humbly invite Mr. Nuwan Hera, Head of the Department of Social Sciences, the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. Vice Chancellor Major General Milinda Biris, Deputy Vice Chancellor Defense and Administration Brigadier Nanda Hathurusingha, Professor Hajime Tosaki, Professor Anoma Aberatna, Deans and Directors, Registrar of the University, Heads of Departments, Senior Military Officers, Academic Staff, Members of the Non-Academic Staff, and dear students. I, on behalf of the Department of Social Sciences, would like to express my sincere gratitude to Eurasia Foundation for sponsoring the Department of Social Sciences with their generous funding to conduct this course. It is indeed a great opportunity for a small department like ours to initiate collaborations with leading international donor communities and universities. Thank you very much for having faith on our department and KDU. Secondly, let me thank our Vice Chancellor, Major General Milinda Biris, for giving us confidence and guiding us to conduct this program as scheduled. And I believe without his leadership, this inaugural ceremony would not have become a reality during this difficult situation of COVID pandemic. Also, a big thank you to Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defense and Administration, Brigadier Nanda Hathurusingha, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Professor Jayantari Ratna, former Dean of the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, Dr. Namani Sirisoma, Director, International Relations, all deans who nominated students for this program, all the senior military officers of the university, especially Dean and Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Defense and Strategic Studies, Director IT, Adjutant, Commanding Officer of the University, Assistant Adjutant, for all the support extended to the Department of Social Sciences to make this event a success. In addition, I must mention the leading role played by our Dean of the Faculty, Mr. Kitsri Amatunga. Despite the fact that he has been unable to be with us physically due to lockdown of his hometown, he has always been behind us virtually and supported us whenever his assistance was needed. Thank you, sir, for your guidance and support. Moreover, I'm also grateful to the non-academic staff, especially Registrar of the University, acting bursar and her staff, assistant registrar and her staff in our faculty, and the non-academic staff of my department. When it comes to the organizing part of this event, I must express my special thanks to Major Vimansa Abevikrama, military officers at the Faculty of Defense and Strategic Studies, especially the squadron commanders of Intake 36 and 37, officers at the Faculty of Graduate Studies, IT support staff, mess manager, dancing instructors, and all other supporting staff who helped us in having this event in this challenging time. Above all, there is one person whom we all must thank, and that is Dr. Hemantha Premara. Without his leading role, this program would not have become a reality. The whole concept of this program and bringing down of required funding to materialize it is all Dr. Hemantha's continuous dedication. Thank you very much, Dr. Hemantha, for your valuable contribution to KDU and Department of Social Sciences in particular. You have been an inspiration to many of us, and I hope there will be many programs like this in time to come. Last but not least, I would like to thank Professor Hajime Tosaki and Professor Anoma Aberatna for being with us and sharing their expertise. And I hope you will continue to work closely with our department during this program and also in our future endeavors. Finally, I would also like to express my thanks to academic members of the Department of Social Sciences and also in the faculty for their continuous support, and the students of our department for their active participation in this program. Also, a big thank you to all of you for being here during this difficult time, and I hope you and your loved ones will stay safe and healthy as we pass through this unusual situation of COVID pandemic. So with that, I would like to invite Dr. Hemantha Premaratna to speak few words in Japanese. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Vice Chancellor, Major General Milinda Piris, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Deans and Directors, HODs, Academia, Senior Military Officers, my dear students. I am not going to take much of your time. I just want to say thank you for our Japanese people. Actually, I think that Professor Hajime is online, and Professor Anoma Aberatna, and most of the students are online now. So let me speak a few words in Japanese to thank them. Minasan konnichiwa. Watashi ga Hemantha to moshimasu. 実は日本語でそんなに気を話すことはできないんですけど、できるだけ頑張って皆さんにありがたいと思って本当に一番最後に話そうと思ったんです。KDU はこの前ディーン学部長が話したように KDU は KDA になっていたんです。コタラウラディフェンスアカデミー。コタラウラディフェンスアカデミーという意味はその前に軍隊でアーミー、ネイビー、エアフォースは別々に自分がトレーニングをしてスリランカのために働いてたんです。でもそれはそういうふうにしたら 皆さん一緒にならないと思って KDA は KDU になったんです。それは実はその時ディフェンスセクレタリーになっていた今はスリランカの大統領になっているゴータベ・ラジャパクサです。その時もバイスチャンセラーになっているのはジェネラル・ミリンダ・ピリスです。そしたら KDU になって軍隊以外にシビリアンの皆さんも一緒に勉強してスリランカの将来のために働こうと思っているんです。今はその以外に行って外国までに広いてワンアジアみたいなオーガナイゼーションと一緒に含めていろんなことをやろうと思っております。それでいつも私のバイスチャンセラーが言っているのは Sky is the limit。 空はリミテーションですということなんですけど、というのは I think that there is no limit。 だからそういうイメージで動いているとき、もっともっと考え方を広げてスリランカと日本だけじゃなくて、スリランカ、日本、そしたらヨーロッパまでにその考え方を合わせて、一緒に働こうと思っております。だから特に今日ワンアジアファウンデーションを始まったのヨジ佐藤さんに本当に心から申し訳あります。もう一つはやっぱりはじめ先生がいなかったらこういうことはここまで接待できない。だからはじめ先生から教えてもらったのいろんなことを本当に心から感謝します。So I think that when I learned Japanese in Japan, I heard 3 words, Kamal. Most of the time I heard sumimasen. The meaning is I'm sorry, apologize. The second one that I heard, the common word was gambatte kudasai, work hard. Third one is akiramenai, never give up. So I think that we also try to follow the same thing. So 諦めなくて一緒になって頑張りましょう。ありがとうございます。すいません。Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Being undergraduates of the only defense university in Sri Lanka, today we take the initiative steps in order to be the link of the cultures toward a common Asian ideology. We are proud to oversee the initiating steps with a mission of bridging our nations towards a peaceful and a cooperative future. Throughout the next 5 months, we shall explore the boundaries of the diversity of our continent with the hope towards an Asian ideology linked with its unique cultures. With that, we conclude the proceedings of this inauguration ceremony of the short course on cultural linkages towards an Asian ideology. We invite you all for refreshments at the lobby after the national anthem. The first lecture of the course, Regional Cooperation and Economic Development in Asia, is conducted online by Senior Professor Anoma Aberatna, University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka, at 4 p.m. today. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. Thank you, and how a pleasant day.